And welcome to the wonderful Shona. Thank you very much indeed for coming on and doing this testimonial. It's been a little while now since our last session together, and I would like to really hand it over to you. But first of all, to say thank you so much for coming on and doing this testimonial with me. And you seem to have made some amazing progress. And tell me, first of all, what did you originally suffer from, for the benefit of people watching?
So I suffered from a panic disorder. So it is the fear of having a panic attack that would trigger one. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't necessarily, I didn't necessarily have any trigger in particular. I wasn't afraid that something was going to happen to me walking down the road, or I wasn't afraid of being mugged or anything like that. My pure fear was having a panic attack. That was the most frightening part for me. But it got to the point where I couldn't leave my house. Mm-hmm. I couldn't throw the bins outside. A lot of the time it got to the stage where I didn't really want to answer my phone, really speak to anybody. I had to get signed off work, which then ended in me having to have my notice in to work. Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, it got pretty bad on a couple of journeys as well, where you had experiences on the journeys, didn't it? That's
yeah, there was times where being on a train or a bus, I had to get off immediately, try and run home. My safe place was always home. Yeah. So no matter where I was, in my mind, as long as I could get home somehow, whether that be running, walking, a lot of the time I'd run. No matter where I was, I'd just start running. But I would get to the point where I would end up throwing up. I'd be sick.
Yeah.
I'd black out. There'd be times I'd passed out. My hands would go all clammy and sweaty. I'd get pins and needles in my hands. I couldn't feel my legs. I'd get hot. My eyesight would go blurry. It is a very, very scary feeling. It does feel like you're dying, but it is all in the mind.
Yes, yeah.
But in that moment, it's really difficult to keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, and people have different experiences, but that's really helpful for someone out there that might recognize some of those thoughts and feelings. So it was pretty bad for you. How was it affecting life in general? You mentioned the work situation there.
Yeah, so I've always been, growing up, I was always like really bubbly, really happy, really outgoing, a social butterfly. I was always out and about. And since they started, I just found that I would go to work, come straight home. I would have to find a job that was within a certain time or amount of miles to home, so that if I did, that was always the first thing I would think of when applying for a job. How far is it from my house? Yeah. So that I can get home if I have to. I would cancel plans on people. I wouldn't show up. I would avoid going anywhere. My mum lives in a different country. I hadn't seen her for months because I couldn't get on a plane. My sister lives in South London. I'm North London. I could go weeks without seeing her because I couldn't get on a train.
Yeah.
So even just the smallest things, going to a supermarket, I couldn't do that. I was having to order things to the house, or my partner would have to go out and buy stuff, because got to the point, there's a chemist at the bottom of my road. I could not go to the chemist to pick up my medication. It would take me 5 minutes, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was affecting and controlling a lot of your life, wasn't it? So
yeah, everything.
Now, a lot of excellent breakthrough from yourself there. And so, how did you find the process with hypnotherapy? Why did you choose hypnotherapy, and me in particular?
So I feel like I tried every other method I possibly could in terms of trying to help with my mind. I tried meditation, I tried yoga, I tried knitting, colouring books, music, running, anything you can think of, really. CBD oil, anything. And then I just thought, right, what is there left? What else can I do? I tried normal therapy as well, and I just thought, this has been going on for too long now. I need to do something. And this was kind of like the last sort of thing I could think of that I could possibly, do. So I started researching, and I came across your page, and I saw lots of reviews. I saw these types of videos as well with people, and I found that listening to people's stories really encouraged me, and it gives you that sense of, actually, maybe it must work if other people are doing it, and they're telling you that they've been through what you've been through, and they're coming out the other side, and they can live their lives happily, and they're getting up every day, and they're just, happy. So I thought, well, what have I got to lose? So then obviously contacted yourself, had our consultation, felt really positive about it afterwards after speaking with you. And then after, I believe it was after the first session, so at this point, I think I hadn't left my apartment in about 3 weeks. I hadn't left. I had one session with you, and then the next morning I remember getting up, I had a shower, got dressed, and I went and sat in a park around the corner from my house on my own, and I read my book, and I fed the ducks, and I think I must have sat there for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I managed to leave the house in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's a wonderful breakthrough, and you've really worked well with the whole process as well, because it's not so much that you get loads of homework to do or anything, or horrible tests, but you have to gently step out and gently make the progress by using the techniques that I show you. So how did you find those techniques? There's a few there that are helpful for the beginning part particularly.
Yeah, no, definitely. The techniques, they're easy, but they definitely help. Breathing technique you taught me, I do it all the time. The breathing out more than you take in.
Yeah.
And I've taught loads of people that technique as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Good to share.
For the confidence, the standing up tall, shoulders back, chest out, it helps with your breathing as well. The method that you showed me to reach up to the sky and put my head back and smile, that one always helps.
Indeed. And there's a mixture of sort of traditional form of hypnosis with eyes closed and some of the NLP techniques and other forms. So the whole mixture together. Have you found any parts of it easier or tougher than others?
Not necessarily. I think the first session, I think I was getting into my own mind a bit too much. But once you talked me through it, I was completely in the zone, in the moment. But I struggle switching my brain off anyway. I'm one of these people that go to bed and my brain runs away with itself. So I think the first 5 minutes or so, I was a bit like, oh God, am I doing it wrong? Am I doing it right? And then once you was talking to me, with your lovely calming voice, I just went with it.
Yeah. Good.
And it was amazing.
And how are you now? The important question. What have you been doing that other people might take some inspiration from? This is an inspiring story.
So now I'm back exercising. I'm back running all the time, which I couldn't do before because I'd convinced myself that I was going to have a heart attack and die. But now I'm back running. I've got a new job. I get on and off buses, on and off trains. Before I found my job, I was getting ready, going off to job interviews, which I would never ever have been able to do before. Going out for dinners. Tomorrow I'm going to a big concert at the O2. Getting on a train to the concert.
Yeah,
so
wonderful.
yeah.
Life
but
is good again. Yeah.
yeah, I just feel happy, you know, that the waking up and thinking, can I leave the house? What if this happens? What if that happens? Always having the worst case scenario at the front of my mind, that isn't there anymore. It's,
Mhm.
oh, I'm looking forward to work today. Oh, what am I going to have for dinner? Oh, what should I do this weekend?
Yes.
So it's not, I look forward to things. I'm excited. I'm happy. I feel like I'm starting to get my old self back,
Yeah. Brilliant.
which was the aim.
Yeah. An amazing story from an amazing person. And
Oh,
would you recommend hypnosis and this particular type of program to others? And what should they try this first, or should they try other things first? What's your opinion?
1000% they should do it.
Hmm.
I mean, doing in terms of like meditation, yoga, they're good for the mind, but I think this, if you want to get quick results that are going to last a long time and you're going to learn so much and so many methods that you can do on yourself as well in the long run, this is definitely the way to go. 100%.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Well, it's been
Thank
an
you.
amazing journey, and I do like to keep in touch with clients, especially ones who have made such a big breakthrough like this. That's amazing. So this
Yeah.
is Nigel Edwards at UK Hypnosis and Coaching, and to thank you, Shona, very much indeed for giving me this testimonial. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me my life back.
Ah, you're welcome.